Hello and welcome to another edition of Into the Wilderness. We're at the Third Base Bar in Carlton. I'm Marty Hill, joined by Jordan Lundgren, and we've got another exciting show to tell you about to preview the upcoming season for the Minnesota Wilderness. A lot of new things happening, and a lot of exciting things all coming up here. But just within less than a week,
yeah,
training camp
it's crazy.
Crazy and exciting.
Yeah, really exciting.
So, and we are about a month away, maybe a little bit less, before the start of the regular season.
Yeah.
2 months before the home opener. So we got a lot of time.
Yeah, a lot of time before the home opener.
What's going to be going on before?
Yeah, I know.
So first game, September 16th, regular season games.
Yep, at Janesville.
17th at Janesville. Then they've got the NHL Showcase, and then there's a few more games, and then finally October 14th.
Yeah, I know. Feels like a long ways away, but it'll go quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, some other news that I guess what we're looking at here, since the last time we were on, there was the main tryout camp.
Yep.
And we had some returnees.
Yes.
That were part of that. They include Michael Mann, who played for a short time last year before suffering an injury.
Yep. He's back.
Ashton
Rehabbed.
Calder.
Yep.
Dylan Lubesmeyer
Yes.
will be between the
He's
pipes.
back, yeah.
Again. After spending a year, was it the Ontario Junior League, I believe?
I believe so, yeah.
Canadian League.
Yep.
Tyler Bold, Tristan Restano, and Jake Tinker
Yes.
on the blue line. I'm excited about that because that shows that we've got a good, solid veteran presence.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, showcase schedule is announced.
Yes.
The guys are going to take on New Jersey, formerly known as the Sioux Eagles.
Yes.
Those have been some intense battles. We'll see if that
Oh,
remains the same way. Johnstown is going to be an opponent for the first time.
Yep.
Topeka for the first time, and then renewing the rivalry with the Kenai River Brown Bears.
Yes. Yeah, and it'll be the only time we play them unless we play them in playoffs.
Right. Only Alaska opponent during the regular season.
Yeah.
Thanks to the change in the division.
Yeah.
So, our trivia question has to do with one of my idols growing up was Gordie Howe.
Okay.
Ward number 9. And, there was talk of the NHL possibly retiring the number 9 after that. I don't know if that would happen in the junior leagues or not, but if that did happen, who would be the last player that would wear number 9? Who was the player the question is, who was it that wore number 9 last season for the Wilderness? And just a hint for you, he's also from Gordie Howe's hometown of Saskatoon.
Oh.
So I think a lot of people could pick that up.
I think so. I feel like they can figure it out.
That's right. So we've got the coaching staff as our guest today. We're gonna have a return visit with head coach Tim Madsen, and for the first time today, we're gonna meet the assistant coach Michael Benedict. All that coming up.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment. We're back at the Third Base Bar and joined by the new assistant coach for the Wilderness, Mike Benedict.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, no problem.
So, in another new area here, you're originally from New York?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. Grew up playing hockey out there. I ended up playing high school there, and then I moved on. I played junior hockey. I actually lived out in Alexandria, Minnesota for a year. My second year, I played down in Corpus Christi, Texas. And then I was lucky enough to receive a scholarship to play Division I hockey at Niagara University. I played 3 years at Niagara. After my junior year, I actually suffered a career-ending shoulder injury, and then had to move on to the coaching ranks, and then became a grad assistant my senior year. The coaching staff at Niagara offered me that opportunity. So I did that my senior year, and then last year I was down in Corpus Christi, Texas as an assistant coach for the Ice Rays down there.
Okay. All settled into the area then? And,
Yeah. No, I enjoy it out here. So yeah.
Single, married, or what's?
Single with a girlfriend. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Terrific. So and the move wasn't too stressful.
No, not at all. No. Yeah.
Well, we like to accommodate new people.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
So you went from playing under the head coach now,
yes,
who was an assistant when you were a player at Niagara.
Yeah.
What was it like to play under Tim Madsen?
Well, Coach Madsen for me, I always I always looked up to him. You know, I think he may have had a soft spot for me as a player, and I know he always, you know, would mentor me after practice, and I had constant communication with him throughout all 3 years of playing there. You know, I felt like he was easy to get along with, and he was a guy that actually recruited me to play at Niagara too. So he was a guy that I looked up to, and you know, as weird as it sounds, our careers kind of had a similar pattern. You know, he became a grad assistant or director of hockey operations at Niagara, while, you know, after his career was over playing, he suffered a couple concussions and so had to move on from that. But, you know, he worked as director of hockey operations at Niagara, and then kind of, you know, went on to the NA after that, and then my career kind of, you know, followed the same path. So very similar backgrounds when it comes to that, but, you know, I think our coaching styles are pretty similar.
Okay. So, and you had an opportunity to coach with him and also play under him. So
Yeah.
you kind of got an idea, you know, different ways in which he works as just being that person that
Yeah.
is supposed to, he directed you more or less.
Yeah,
ways,
yeah.
But you kind of work together.
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah. No, I mean, even you know, when I became a grad assistant there, I thought it was going to be a little difficult, especially with me playing with, you know, the senior class and the junior class. Like, they were guys that I grew up, or that I played with my freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So I thought it was going to be a little weird at first, but the transition was pretty easy, and you know, especially working alongside Tim and you know, Dave Burkholder and Pat Olivetto as well, that they were there, and they made the transition easy for me, and you know, it was something that once I started, I knew this coaching was something that I wanted to do the rest of my life. So.
Now, it had to be exciting to be able to go back to your hometown, to be able to play college hockey, and
Yeah,
also be able to coach there.
yeah, no, it was. So, I mean, you know, most kids when they're 18 years old, they move away and they probably go to college, and, you know, I moved away for 2 years and I played junior hockey. You know, and when I was away, you know, I kind of miss home. I have a big family, and so, you know, being away from home, it made me realize that, you know, I wanted to come play college hockey at home, and, you know, luckily enough, like I said, Niagara offered me the opportunity to play there, and it was a pretty good career for me.
And then you got to spend a year at Corpus Christi
Yes.
in the NHL.
Yeah.
So basically you had the experience of playing and coaching there as well.
Yeah,
Different,
yeah, no, yeah,
you
yeah.
see different facets of that.
Yeah, no, I played 2 years in the North American Hockey League. I played up in Alexandria for a year. And like I said, you know, unfortunately I was actually released from the team, and I made my way down to Corpus Christi, who was an expansion team that year.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I had a pretty successful year, you know, on the ice, and, you know, Niagara must have saw something that they liked in me and offered me an opportunity to come play there. And so obviously, like, I know the North American League, especially playing there 2 years, and then, you know, coaching there last year. I learned a lot under my head coach last year as well.
Sure. Now, if there's one thing I did notice on your stats. Penalty minutes were pretty high. And, you know, and the league seems to be evolving right now.
Yeah.
Right now, you're not seeing those penalty minutes
Yeah.
as high.
Yeah.
As they were then.
Well, I think a lot of those penalty minutes had to do with tens or misconducts.
Right.
I know I had at least 4 10-minute misconducts during the year. You know, for whatever reason, I didn't fight. I wasn't a fighter, but it was something that I was always involved in scuffles and. Yeah, so
Abuse
those
of the officials, maybe.
that might have been called up a couple times. I don't know.
We've had experiences with that.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if you actually went and did your research, but I'm sure that's some of those penalties on there. But
I'm just guessing. I did not go
yeah,
that deep in my.
no, I as a player, I never got along with referees, but I had no issues with them last year. It was actually kind of fun. You know, most of the referees are, you know, 2 or 3 years younger than me, not too much older than the players, and so they. You know, a lot of times they talk with me before the games, after the games. I got along with them pretty good, and so I took it easy on them last year. Yeah.
Well, that's a sign of maturity then. If you're
Yeah.
getting along with them,
Yeah.
then, you know, you've heard
Yeah, no, that's for sure. It was one of those things where when I was a player, I just, you know, never saw eye to eye with them, and I was a centerman, so taking draws, I used to get all mad at the linesman, and yeah, so it was one of those things where, you know, everyone, you know, if they look at my stat sheet there and they see 125 PIMs, that's kind of a lot, especially for, you know, a guy that's I considered myself a skill guy, and at least that year, and so that's a lot of penalties there. You know, a lot of time spent in the box.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, what kind of a coaching style do you think you have?
You know, I played forward, and so like I was pretty offensive, and I always wanted to play offensive, and I never really studied the defensive side of the game at all. But last year, coaching down there, I obviously handled the D, and it was one of those things where I saw the defensive side of the game and saw how important that was, and how offense can be created by your defensive zone play. So it was one of those things where I know I'm young and my coaching style is obviously going to keep evolving, but three things stick out to me when it comes to hockey, and I talk about it all the time, and I sent an email to the players and I said, if you can do those three things, you can play for me. And it was speed, details, and discipline. If you can handle those three things, then you can not only handle it yourself on the ice but off the ice as well. Just paying attention to details, doing things, getting things done when they have to get done on time, and discipline as well. So yeah,
it's got to being one that will be focusing on defense. Then you must be somewhat pleased to see that we've got some pretty good, solid defenders coming back from last year. Especially the three returnees. Tinker, Stanu, and Bolt.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. I mean, anytime you can build a defensive core around players that have played here before and have played in the league. Obviously we're bringing in some other players as well, and it's one of those things where we're gonna hopefully have a pretty good D core, and I know our offense is going to be pretty positive, but we're hoping that our D can join the offense as well, and it's not just they're not just defending plays, that they're actually creating offense as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I guess before we close out here, we had the Olympics just finish up here. So did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I watched a lot of the Olympics actually. Yeah.
Now, if you were not, if you only had to choose one of the sports in the Olympics to compete in growing up, which one of those would you? Are
you talking Summer Olympics
Summer Olympics,
okay?
What we just had.
I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool to be a gymnast. I don't know. Actually. Or track and field. I like track and field. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm amazed at the gymnasts at the upper body strength.
Yeah, well, that's what impresses me too. And I'm probably a little bit too tall to be a gymnast. I think most of those gymnasts are pretty short, and but obviously, track and field is really fun to watch. I mean, I do a little swimming, but I can never compete in the Olympics, I don't think. I actually got into triathlons a couple years ago when I got out of hockey. It was something to compete in, and the swimming was never my strong suit. I could bike and I could run, but swimming is where I always struggled there. So.
Right. When you talk about the track and field, I just love the cool, calm composure of a guy like Usain Bolt.
Oh yeah.
As he crosses the finish line, he does this big grin and he's,
Yeah, no, I like that from a standpoint where it's an individual sport too.
Right.
But it is kind of cool seeing the relays and seeing the different countries compete, and it's four guys coming together that are trying to win gold, and so the relays are fun to watch, and I just enjoy watching the Olympics as a whole. There's a couple connections in Western New York, so I watched some. I think an archery guy was there, and maybe a pole vaulter or something. So it's different sports that I don't normally watch throughout the year, but definitely during the Olympics I turn it on.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you joining us.
Yeah,
here.
No problem. Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're gonna try to get you on a few more times.
Okay. Oh no, I'd love to be out. Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Welcome again to the
Thank you.
team. We're back with head coach Tim Madsen in just a minute. And we're back on Into the Wilderness. And we're joined once again with the head coach Tim Madsen. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Marty.
How's this now winding down the summer? And what are your summer activities other than outside of preparing for a hockey season?
Well, this summer was a little unique as I got married this summer and had to move out here. But other than that, just trying to build a hockey team, to be honest. Like getting outdoors, going fishing once in a while, and doing some stuff like that. But it's hockey 24/7.
Sure. Now, I'm sure growing up in, being a Minnesotan growing up, obviously a lot of outdoor stuff. And is there any particular type of fishing that you usually go for or anything? Or?
No, you know what? When I moved out to New York, I haven't fished I fished maybe once or twice in 12 years, and I got back and went last week here, and I was pretty excited to go. It's like I was a little kid again. So.
Sure. Up in the area here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I forget what the lake is called, but right around the area here.
How did it go?
It was all right. The two gentlemen I was with caught about 12 each, walleye each, and I I caught about 6.
Okay.
So I got some work to do.
It's your first time out there in a few years, you know. I mean, so
Yeah.
it's building up to it.
Yeah, just like the players, it's got to develop.
Exactly. So, and the walleyes, or what were you?
Walleyes for the most part, yep.
Awesome. And have you cooked any yet?
You know what? I gave them to those 2 guys. I've been too busy getting things ready for the team.
Or
And
not a fish eater, or?
no, I love the fish, yeah, but it's I haven't had a whole lot of time.
Okay, got it. So, since our last show, we had camp completed, and your thoughts post camp.
We were happy. We got a lot to work with. I mean, we're only going to have 4 potential returners. So, on top of that, I think our staff did a good job of with our tenders, and I think we did a good job with our draft too, and then some free agents on top of that. So we're excited.
Sure. And so you've got, in the meantime, coming up this Sunday, the preseason basically starts. Preseason practices start. And how many players are going to be coming in?
Right around 25 players.
Okay.
And they come in on Sunday, or they come in Saturday. Sunday we have our first practice in the morning at 10:30 a.m. here in Cloquet. And we just get after it. From there on, get after it and try to make the players better and prepare for our first game.
Sure. And you start at that number, and then by, I think, what is it, October 1st, you've got to have the number down.
October it trims down to 23, from 25 to 23.
Okay. And we were talking about how returners from last year, the list is deep in defensemen. At least if you, I guess, of that list of players, you've got 3 players that were pretty regular on the blue line. So your thoughts on what you've got coming back?
Well, it's always nice to have veteran defensemen. I think come early, mid, late September, everybody's going to be looking for a veteran defenseman, and we're very fortunate to have 3 of them coming back. So I think it's pretty nice to be able to sleep at night knowing that we have 3 coming back.
Yeah. Now, are these guys going to be, I guess, starting with the team, or because I know a lot of these kids, they'll start with a USHL team. What do you know about this?
There's going to be some tinkering with the roster without question, but as of today, the 25 or so guys we bring in less than a week are the 25 or so kids that we're going to be going to bat with.
Sure. Anything that you can talk about as far as what you like about some of these players, some of the forwards, defense, goaltenders, and that kind of thing?
Well, everything starts from the net out, as they say. We like our goaltending. It's a big hole to fill going into the summer, but we think we have that filled. We got some veterans back on D, as you already stated, and up front, I think we have some depth. I think we're going to be real deep up front. Yeah. So we're looking forward to getting them into town and making them better every day.
Now up front, is it up the middle? You think that you would have a strength, or wings, or what? How do you?
You know what? We actually do have a lot of centermen coming in. It's a lot easier to go from center to wing than wing to center. So I think it's a good, I don't want to say problem to have, but I think it's a good thing that we probably have more centermen than wings coming in. So okay. We'll make that work.
Sure. Well, we'll talk more about that, I guess, specifics when we talk, just before the season starts. You'll probably have a better idea at that point. As well.
Much better idea.
Also, in the last few weeks, the NHL had a coaches meeting. So you got a chance to, I guess, get in touch with some of your peers. What are your thoughts on some of the other people that you've got coaching with?
You know what? I know a lot of guys in the league already, just from working in college. But as far as the league goes, the professionalism that they put on down at those meetings was so impressive to me. Being new to the league as a head coach, I was so impressed. And the coaches that I did not know before that I've met over that weekend. Some very smart guys, a lot of good coaches in this league.
Do you, you say you know some of them from, I imagine, having that 1 year of experience being an assistant probably helped in that respect too. And one thing that I've noticed is that we're going into a division where we have a lot of veteran coaches. So something where I guess you can kind of learn from some of these guys.
I don't know if learn from them. I think the big thing, which is nice for me, having worked in college, having watched these teams play from a recruiting standpoint in college, is I know kind of style of hockey that each coach likes to play in our league. So so-and-so's team, they're usually bigger, older, competitive. So-and-so's team is more of a skilled team, so on and so forth. And I think I have a pretty good idea going into this of what brands of hockey are going to be played in our division.
Sure. As you grew up, were there any coaches that you idolized at all?
Yeah, I mean, you got a couple guys that I had played for in the past. PK O'Hanley in Waterloo in the USHL. Bliss Littler was in the USHL a long time.
We remember Bliss from when they came
Yep.
up, when he was with Wenatchee.
Yep, my head coach at Niagara, Dave Burkholder. You take pieces from all of them. You take pieces of what you liked, what you didn't like, and now being a first-time head coach, it's an opportunity to put it all together and with my beliefs, as well as Mike's, and put it together and try to run the team.
Sure. Would your style be one that is a disciplinary kind of style, or are you one that is one would consider to be a player's coach, or do you like to kind of take a mix of
I think it has to be a mix. I think every team has to be disciplined, even if you're a player's coach. I think if you are a player's coach in the right way, you're going to be disciplined. You don't have to be a tough, hard-nosed coach, because if they're playing for you and the way you want them to play, they're going to be disciplined if that's within your structure, which I'm sure it's in most structures. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Right. Being at you got really your first opportunity to see the rink. That's going to be your home during that camp. So, thoughts on what you've seen there, the facilities that we've got, and all that, and
Love
what
it.
you expect.
Love it. We just fixed up the locker room, painted it, getting carpet put in it this week. Coach's office, we fixed that up, redid the whole thing. As far as the actual ice sheet goes, I think Mike and I are both pretty excited because we'd like a team that can skate, and that's kind of the way we've built it. So from that standpoint, we're pretty happy that we have an Olympic sheet of ice.
Right.
One of the very few in the league.
And that kind of something that caters to what you want to, what kind of a product you put on the ice.
Yeah, and that was something that as a coach you have to keep that stuff in mind, and we kept that in mind when we were building the team, and it's a great advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, you're playing half your games on that sheet of ice. That's a little bit bigger than the other rinks, and if we build a team the way we want to build the team off of skill and speed, it's going to be a great asset for us.
And when can we expect to see a roster?
I would say before we play Janesville,
Okay. Well,
on the 16th.
okay, so sometime between now and the 16th. Boy, you
Yeah.
had to throw that in there. Well, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Good try, Marty. Very good.
We're all kind of wondering, so, okay. And I understand that there's going to be some jerseys. I forgot to bring that up with Jordan, but there's going to be some new uniforms that are going to be unveiled for the team.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
Okay.
They're phenomenal, and I urge the fans and supporters to get out to the rink and take a look at them. They're pretty sharp.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing when those are unveiled as well. So.
Absolutely.
And I also asked Mike this question. Just saw the Olympics get finished up here, and I asked him this question. I'll ask you the same thing. If you had your choice, when you were growing up, if you could only play one of the sports from the Summer Olympics,
Sure.
which one would it be?
I really enjoy watching the water polo.
Okay.
A little bit of contact there, a little bit of skill. I could watch it all day long. Pretty neat.
That would have been my answer exactly.
Pretty neat.
And I noticed they had Pierre Maguire on the broadcast.
That's right.
So it's kind of a nice fit there. So, and if I could find a water polo league personally, I mean, I would jump at it, locally. But it's great, isn't it? Just it kind of mirrors a lot of the strategy you have with it.
It does. I was thinking of that while I was watching. I'm like, okay, what are they trying to do here? And it's pretty fast. A lot of things can happen quick, and kind of like hockey.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing how quick they can get up and down that pool.
Sure.
And the contact and what is exposed really has to be protected, because I heard one of the commentators talk about how he didn't wear a helmet one day and had an eardrum injury.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, think there's more contact than you even notice on TV.
Right. Oh, I'm sure. All that. Yeah. Things that you can't see. I know. Okay, Coach. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you.
And good luck with the
Always a pleasure.
preseason practices and what's coming up here over the next few weeks.
Get you that roster real soon.
Looking forward to it. All right. Coach Madsen on Into the Wilderness. We'll be back to wrap things up in a moment. We're back, wrapping up this edition of Into the Wilderness, and coming up, it's going to be Sunday. Well, today is we're recording the show on the 22nd. It's what is Sunday? August 27th is going to be the start of training camp.
Yeah.
And also coming up is the golf outing.
Yes, it is. I know it's coming up quick too.
When is that and where?
It is at the Black Bear Casino and Resort. And it's on the 7th of September. It's a Wednesday. It's the Wednesday after Labor Day. It's a shotgun start at 1 o'clock. And registration is at 12. And we have, I think, so there can be 24 teams total, and we already have 19.
Okay.
So it's filling up really quick.
All right. And then if people want to sign up for this, what do they have to do?
They can go on our website, wildernesshockey.com, and there's a little tab for it, and there's the sign-up sheet there, and then you can just send it in.
And what is the cost for teams?
It's, oh boy.
I might
Well,
stop you here.
it's, there's like a bunch of different costs.
Okay.
It's like, okay, if you want to just play golf
probably
and
have a
dinner.
whole show just
yeah,
talking about
I
what
know.
to- yeah.
If you want to just do golf and dinner, it's $400 a team, and it's 5 people teams. And then like the highest package you can do is $750, and you get golf, dinner, season tickets, and a sponsorship. You can like sponsor a hole. So.
All right. Season tickets are on sale. Now the early bird period
Is
I
over
imagine,
with.
has expired.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the 15th it did, but we do have them for sale. So.
Okay. And when we were on a few weeks ago, there was only one preseason game scheduled, but another has been added.
Yes, on September 1st. It's a Thursday at Magicians also.
So both of them are there'll be one on the 1st of September and then another on the 9th
8th.
or on the 8th.
Yep,
Okay.
they're both Thursdays, and they're a week apart.
And they're in Richfield.
Yep.
Okay, at Richfield Arena.
Yep.
So, and if those of us that may be tuning in on YouTube that are in the Twin Cities can check out the team and get a good chance to see what
Yeah.
guys they're going to be doing. And the NHL has its 24 and 24 series, and that will feature the Wilderness on the 30th.
August
is what
30th,
the- is
yep.
what the schedule is. So you'll be able to get to see Coach Madsen. They've got a nice little video presentation.
Yeah, they have a bunch of questions for them.
So, that you're going to take care of.
Yes, yeah, that I will be taking care of.
And once again, the season opener is set for September 16th, but I think we'll have another show before then just to
Yeah.
give folks an idea of what's going
Yeah.
on. So, and once again, our trivia: who was the last Wilderness player to wear number 9, Gordie Howe's number? That would have been during the 2015-16 season. I imagine between now and then there could be a roster unveiled that will have
Right.
another number 9.
Yes.
That's not the one we want to know. So if you know the answer to that. The first one to answer on Facebook
And
or
Twitter.
Twitter
Yep.
will get a pair of tickets
Yep, to the home opener or
any home
whenever
game.
you can come, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Facebook, Minnesota Wilderness, NAHL, or through Twitter at MNWilderness. That'll do it for this edition of Into the Wilderness. I want to thank Eric Lippinen for his work producing the show, and also head coach Tim Madsen and assistant coach Mike Benedict, and Jordan the Queen Lundgren.